Any guesses? You're able to graduate with your family watching you physically. That's not the case in many of our graduations. In fact, all of our other graduations, we are not able to fit in the family members within the same hall, and then chirping of children in the back. So this is a special moment for you, thoughts for you and for your family that are here. I want to thank our chief guest, Professor Sanjay Zurpe, for accepting our invitation. So he's leading the Public Health Foundation of India. So when we had COVID, the pandemic, it's a public health crisis. And as a country, I think we were running against time to catch up with it. And the predecessor of Professor Sanjay, Dr. Srinath Reddy, is on the advisory board of Geetam, someone I respect greatly. And Professor Sanjay, he speaks very highly of you, sir, and I think you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, because next time we get something like COVID as a country, I think we should be much more prepared. And I think the idea of One Health for the survival of humanity, because COVID as a disease was not very fatal. I think we were able to live through it by losing only few people compared to some other more deadly diseases. Why is this important for you all? You're going into a future where the world is changing rapidly. One of the things that is protecting you today is regulation. But if regulation were not to be as rigid, artificial intelligence will do almost all of the work that you do right now as a medical graduate. Are you aware of that? Yes? In fact, it will do better. For our radiologists, I believe that there is technology today that will identify tumors and diseases 6 months before a human eye can identify it. So what does this mean? That the world is changing so rapidly, technology is changing so rapidly, that if you don't stay on top of the developments in your field, and if you don't identify how you are going to be unique, I'm going to elaborate on what being unique means. And both leaders speaking before me had mentioned Swati. I had spoken to Swati when she had helped deliver the baby. Now I asked Swati how much of your skills helped you, right? So she said I was lucky that I was able to have a gynecology posting, so I had some experience doing it. But in the train, she didn't have any equipment, and she could have easily said that I am not a doctor, or put the blanket back on her face and say I don't want to deal with this. And even when she went there, I think skill was a part, yes, but the more important part was character, which is doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. And I think that will distinguish between a human being and technology or artificial intelligence as we proceed. So if we don't do the right thing when nobody is watching, I know that all of you have this environment where academic integrity and discipline towards your academics is questionable. I can't say that all of you are extremely committed towards your academics, but you're here. That means you crossed the bar. But passing an exam doesn't mean mastery over the subject. And passing an exam or getting a degree is merely the beginning, it's not the end. And as the speakers have said, unfortunately in the medical field, if you want to do advanced care, an undergraduate degree is insufficient. How many of you are happy that you're a doctor now that you've graduated? Raise hands. About 60-70% are shyly raising their hands. So I don't know what the other 30% are thinking. Maybe your parents forced you into it. You've spent a lot of money, close to 1 crore. But now the undergraduate degree is completed. It's sunk cost, money is gone. So the argument for the future should not be I have spent 1 crore, hence you should continue. And why I'm saying this, and I think an example that the Vice Chancellor has given, is that practicing medicine or practicing healthcare is the primary pathway that many of you will take, but it is not the only pathway. There are many things that India requires in the area of healthcare, which is including but not limited to research on drug discovery, new treatment methodologies, new equipment, which all of you can go in, and that doesn't require you to go and study a postgraduate degree in medicine. Or you can become a public health specialist, like how Professor Sanjay is here, help develop the public health infrastructure. You can become a manager. Believe me, we are searching for good managers in this institution and also in other institutions in healthcare. It has been extremely difficult. Some of your parents may be doctors here, and some of them may also be running hospitals or clinics and believe that they are good managers. Believe me, many of them are not. Because management is a different trade, and that requires you to think like a people manager, and it requires different skill sets, different experiences. So if you want to go study an MBA, great. I'll encourage that also. So what I'm trying to say is that yes, in some sense you have limited your choice set